Yes, yes, yes. We're talking pregame. Yay. And then what's Kendrick going to do from here? So let's get it
I'ma
in.
get $1 million in the bank.
What up, y'all? I'm Torre, and it's Rap
And
Latte.
and I am King Green. This is Deeper Conversations about Hip Hop. I done forgot that. I done forgot our intro. Where's
Welcome to
everybody
the
at?
American holiday known as Super Bowl Sunday, and thank God for once, not just for once, it happens now in the Jay-Z era, but we got an amazing rapper at the center of the world right now. For a lot of people, Kendrick's show is more important than the game. It
Yep.
should be a good game, so I don't want to overhype, but I'm definitely interested to see this
Should it
chapter
be
of
a good
Kendrick.
game? Like
Yeah,
let's since it's the pregame, let's be football latte for 2 seconds and
yeah,
make some of our
yeah.
moderators mad. But if I hear that Pat, I saw this thing online, which doesn't mean it's true at all, obviously. That Patrick, oh my God, the coach
Holmes,
for the Heat. No, the coach for the Heat, Pat Riley. Pat
Riley.
Riley gave his copyright because he copyrighted three-peat, like the word three-peat,
Okay.
and he gave his copyright to the NFL. Like he licensed it to the NFL. So why would you license three-peat to the NFL if Kansas City is not going to win? Because it would be a three-peat if Kansas City won.
You're not doing it. We're not doing a rigged script thing. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing
I'm
conspiracy
just
theories now.
saying
I thought we were talking the game. You're doing
that I'm
conspiracy
just
theories.
I think that Kansas City wins by 3 points. And even though I want Philly to win, you see all this green? I want the Eagles to fly. Go Eagles. I want them to win. But I think they're going to do them dirty.
I don't think anybody's going to do them dirty. I think these are two fantastic teams with two great black quarterbacks. Both teams are able to do a lot of damage. I love the way Kansas City plays. I think Patrick Mahomes is just the best player on the field when these two teams line up. And I know Philly got weapons, but Kansas City got Patrick, who might be the best NFL player of this generation. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick finds a way.
Conspiracy latte.
They've been finding a way to get it done by one score over and over all season. That's just winner shit. Like, the kid is good.
Yeah,
The kid is fucking generationally good.
he is. And I like him. I like what he does. I'm not the biggest fan of the Chiefs, but I like what they're doing. I like the
What did
Eagles because they
what
green, and that's probably it. And I really do like Saquon. Like that's my guy. That's my guy.
I mean, the Eagles is totally chill. I ain't mad at them.
Chill. That's my
Any
guy.
team, no, any team that has a black quarterback, I'm like, you got part of my heart. At least as long as you
Yeah.
got a black man as the head coach or the quarterback, I cannot hate on you, right? Like respect, because I come from a time when there were no black quarterbacks, or it was a rare thing, and they asking people, "How long have you been a black quarterback?" Oh my God, I can't believe you have the intellectual skills to run
Yeah.
a quarterback a whole game. Like,
You
oh
have a
my
brain.
God.
How
So,
is that possible?
I'm thrilled to see two black
Ariel
quarterbacks
smoke.
who are great quarterbacks, very modern quarterbacks in the fucking Super
Yeah.
Bowl. I'm excited.
We got some super chats. Let me put them out there. Ariel smoke one he wants all the smoke. He says, die, Eagles, die. Chiefs, three-peat, incoming, Mahomes. Go. Go. Then they got, you got P Buck. They greased the polls in New Orleans. Philadelphia winning by 2 scores. Okay. That just sounds weird saying 2 scores. GNX Deluxe tonight. Dissect Podcast says that. First of all, Dissect, we love you, bro. We gotta have
Thank
you on the
you,
show.
man.
Friend of the show.
You're so nice.
Such a nice
So
guy.
nice.
Man. Thanks, Cole.
GNX,
But
wait, GNX DLX tonight. What?
Deluxe, I just said it out loud, you freaking old fuck.
I didn't hear you. I was vibing on Dissect and them being nice to us.
Yeah.
So he's saying that we're gonna see a lot of the GNX album tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna get to what he's saying, but someone in the chat said preemptively licensing a slogan is actually pretty standard. Sorry for your conspiracy. Yes, it's standard, but I was enjoying the conspiracy. This was conspiracy latte. Like I was just enjoying it. This is entertainment after all. But anyways, let's get into
Dissect.
what Dissect said and what we overhear is Rap Latte. We're going to talk about the pregame. We're talking, it's my other hand, pregame. We are talking about Kendrick said that there will be a big surprise, that there's going to be, or someone said this. I don't know if it was obviously it wasn't from Kendrick. Someone said Kendrick is going to have a big surprise. And what Dissect is hoping is that it's GNX Deluxe album that drops right after the Super Bowl or something like that, or drops tomorrow. That's what some people are saying. Some people are saying that it might be an actual surprise feature, like a huge surprise like that. I don't know who would be a surprise feature. Like everything's a surprise, but nothing is like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Like, I don't think anything like that. So I feel like it's an album. Me personally, I feel like it's an album. Chat, you get in the comments. Tell me what you think it is.
No, you're right. I mean, like, shit. Who could Kendrick bring out that would be like, oh my God? I mean, if Sade emerged, we'd still be like, oh my God. But still, that's not going to happen.
Nothing.
But like
Michael Jackson has to come out
Michael
for
Jackson,
it to be like.
it would have to be related to, you know what? And if this happens, we're going to clip this and I'm going to be a fucking superstar. If Kendrick brought out Janet Jackson, and it becomes like a redemptive moment for Janet.
And he does poetic justice.
All the dog. That would be amazing. That's what, and that's what I'm about. I'm about the culture and like righting the wrong of Janet being left on the, side of the road for Super Bowl halftime history, and like even Justin got his chance to come back. And like,
that's true. He did it. He did a pandemic Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen, but this would be Kendrick using his
Tupac coming out
political power, right? Like he has political power within the realm of the Super Bowl right now. Like he is the obvious biggest performer in America. Like right now, he's not a legacy act. He is the hottest guy in America. And if he said, "I want to bring back Janet Jackson," and people will be like, you know what? We got to listen to him.
You know what someone pointed out is that Tyler, the creator, even though he said, I'm not about to be at no football game, which is an interesting statement in general too. He said, I'm on tour. He doesn't have a tour date today. He ain't got a tour date. Someone put it out. Y'all better watch Kenny. That's what he said.
I mean,
I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen.
Kendrick is really thoughtful.
It's Jello ball.
And and very intentional, so I mean, like it will be something that like matters within the scope of like the brand and the career and like where he is now as an artist. And I mean, I think clearly in his mind, right, he's moving on from the battle, right? Like GNX is not really about Drake. Like we're like moving forward. Like
that dude's moving forward from GNX. Like he even said it, and I think he's just that type of artist, which I think Tyler's that type of artist, 3K's that type of artist, Kanye was that type of artist, where they just, even Jay-Z, it's like, it's about now. I don't care what I've done. It's like, I got to move forward. And I think that's how you need to be as an artist, is you always got to look forward. Like my next work is going to be my best work. That's the attitude you gotta have to be able to do that, where some people succumb to like, oh no, like, yeah, people really like that sound on that last album, so let me go ahead and do that sound on that last album. You gotta move forward. And he said that in the interview that you didn't like.
No, you gotta be easily bored, and you gotta be willing to be like, everyone's going left or everybody wants me to go left, I'm going right, and do that about your sound or what you're talking about. And when you can do that sort of stuff and like surprise the audience on the direction, but they still like it,
Yeah.
That's a whole other level of artist. And, that's what Beyonce did. Like, would we have said we want Beyonce to do a country album? Like, no. Like, when the idea is first broached, it's like, that's nuts, especially coming off a house and disco album. But Beyonce goes where she wants to go and the audience follows, right? So, like, we follow her to country and we love it there. But like that's a whole different level of artist.
Yeah, and I think she's developed that and seen that before him. Like I don't think, I'm gonna put this spike down. None of this happens without Lauryn Hill. Like, none of this. I don't think any of this happens without Lauryn Hill, because I don't think you get Love Below without Lauryn Hill's solo album. And Lauryn Hill's solo album was simultaneously hip hop and bringing in all these genres in, right? I mean, she made it in Jamaica, did soul, Motown, super hip hop, super reggae. I think that inspires everyone. Like, yo, I can genre blend and still be hip hop, and that's how you get the Love Below. And you don't get 808s and Heartbreaks without the Love Below, and you don't get Drake, Kendrick, all these other people without that. So I think that album kind of like starts pushing things forward where people start taking chances. I think you take chances because of that album.
I think that's a really.
I just thinking about it.
I think it's an amazing point that Lauryn Hill is both the self-seriousness, the spirituality, the MC precision of a Kendrick, and also the sort of genre melding of a Drake, who's like playing in hip hop and R&B at the same time. And like, there's not too many people who can say like, they sit on both sides of that. So she's definitely mothering into both of them in that way. I'm sure. I mean, for sure, both of them grew up listening to Lauryn Hill and loving her, respecting her. Everybody did.
Yeah, I think that definitely plays a part. But moving forward from that, we got some super chats. First of all, the Doomer. What's up, the Doomer? You know what I'm saying? I love seeing that Doom logo.
Thank you.
Future, Cole, and Metro at Superbowl checkmate. Future, Cole, and Metro. Cole is interesting. Cole's an interesting one. I like that. I like that call out. If I see J. Cole on that stage and they do like high power or that other song where Kendrick does the chorus, this would be great. You know what I'm trying to say? Or if they like remixed, they would never do this, but like if you remixed freaking Bigger Than the Super Bowl. Yeah, first person shooter. I would go crazy. I would go insane if I heard first person shooter without Drake.
Wow.
That'd be crazy. But we got more super chats. Kendrick promised storytelling in his interview, and he has mentioned Man at the Garden is really important to him more than once. So it could be in there. He might throw that in there because he loves it. But he also said that he don't care about the past. So I don't feel like we're getting a lot of old songs. We're gonna get the hits. I think we have to get the hits, right? Like his hits have to come off. But he's such an album artist that he has hits like the All the Stars and Humble are bona fide hits, but some of the other and Money Trees because of TikTok, but some of the other ones are just all whatever he feels because people just like the album, like To Pimp the Butterfly and all that. Also, Western Australia Health Ministry put out an official notice of a measles outbreak at Drake's Perth show. Drake fans are literally a health hazard. Matt Hemming did that. It's like, the split. I really people are.
Hold on. Let me go back for 1 second to the Cole thing.
Okay.
I think we just were talking about how we believe that Kendrick's vibe is moving forward, right? Like internally, the direction of the movement is we're moving forward from the beef. We won the battle. We're moving forward. We are not continuing to talk about it. We're not milking it. We are moving on, right? He might, maybe. So, Drake is still there, but he is. So then Cole goes back. Like now we're still talking about the battle, right? Because Cole was part of the battle, stepped out, but he's still this third or fourth character. So like No, if I'm PG Lang, TD, whoever the fuck, like, no. We love
PG
Cole, but
Lang.
like, no.
Respectful.
We're going forward. Like, we're doing this with Schoolboy Q. We're doing this with people who are on GNX. We're doing this with people who, whatever he might do a song. I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but he might do a
Peekaboo.
song we've never heard before. Right? Like, I hate when people do new songs, because I can't learn the song, I can't vibe, I can't understand it.
If you do it right, you could do a new song. But new song at the Super Bowl is wild.
So risky. But
New
I'm
song at
saying,
the Super Bowl is so crazy.
if you're gonna give SZA some of your time, you don't want to do old songs, but you'll dip into some of the old, like, I don't know. There's gonna be something else to this mix.
I think. Julian Jones just gave us did a super chat saying the big surprise, One Train in its entirety. That's kind of crazy. If you know One Train, with everybody on One Train, it's ASAP Rocky. It's like the millennial blog era classic freaking posse cut. I don't know if we had a posse cut like that since then, for real.
So what does it matter, bruh? I'm in the minority, but I don't want Kenny doing Not Like Us. Don't want the boy getting any shine tonight. I think Not Like Us is Kendrick's big. I mean, like, that is probably the record that will be number one associated with Kendrick forever at this point, right? Like, you may never go over that. He might have a bigger record, but like, when when it's all said and done, it'll be like Kendrick, Not Like Us, destroyed Drake, did the Super Bowl, like, dominated America and perhaps the world for 12 months with this record. Like, you gotta do Not Like Us. I mean, the question to me is not, do you do Not Like Us?
I saw.
Do you do it twice? Like,
Yeah, dude,
Like,
that's where I'm like
twice,
2 or 3
too.
times. No, but I saw on. I hate this notion that this is a narrative that's been pushed by like the Drake fans, right? Like the actual fandom. This idea that this song gets credit from Drake because you are dissing him. That's not a hip hop concept. If I diss you, that has nothing to do with you. You didn't give me anything because I dissed you. I come out of no. The whole thing is like, say there's this guy, he beating up everybody. Dude's coming out here punching everybody. A geek's walking by just with his little backpack, and then the guy goes, hey man, what are you gonna do over there with your metaphors? Then the geek's like, what'd you say? Comes over there and knocks him out clean. And you're gonna be like, you only beat him up because he said something to you? Like, what do you like? I don't understand. Or you're only popular now because you beat up the biggest kid in school? That's what you're saying. You're only popular now because you beat up the biggest kid in school. That is the weakest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's so weak. I don't get how you're going to equate beating someone in a battle to using them to get on, or like, no, he won. He won. What are you talking about?
Kendrick made a statement about hip hop. He was talking about authenticity. He was standing up for his culture. He was standing up for his community. I'm sure that they understood, this record has a fire to it. I mean, nobody could know we've made a generational smash, but they're like, this record's got energy to it. Like, yeah, this one's special. But to make a pop song, like a super viral pop song out of a diss record, is so insane and so hard and hard.
And a crazy diss angle. Like, we all were uncomfortable with Meet the Grams and the entire angle he took on Drake, even though the bigger thesis statement is how it was the third verse of NLU and over, like, that's the big thesis statement, but like the angle was crazy. It was uncomfortable. SZA confirmed that the set list was leaked in her interview with Apple Music a few hours ago.
And for a song,
somebody find us the set list.
Please find us the set list. For the song to be so huge and it to be such an intelligent conversation, it is a very thoughtful, intellectual conversation about, I don't like you, but let me explain in explicit and thoughtful detail why I don't like you. And to have a song like that be a massive pop song is so unlikely. It's some science fiction shit, right? Like this does
Yeah.
not happen.
It shouldn't.
It's
The
good.
guy, the underdog won, and it's like that's what feels. It's like this should not have happened. Like he should not have been able to get off some fucking Public Enemy verse on a diss song. It just never made sense to me how this happened. But your boy, what does it matter, bro?
Verse on a
diss song. That's what it was. That's not my point. My point.
If Public Enemy had a battle with NWA and they'd be writing some crazy shit like
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Participating in the war on drugs, you
Drugs,
suck.
yeah. Like he just I don't understand how that worked.
Your founder sold poison to his people. Rawr!
And people ran with it.
He did. Gotcha.
That's basically what happened. But let me read this super chat. He said, that's not my point. My point is it'll be annoying that people will try to take away from his moment and make it that. That's what I was saying. That's what we already addressed that in the sense that we don't think that that's a good, valid point.
I don't think that's what's going to happen here. Kendrick has created something amazing, and the celebration of that record is around him and Drake getting stomped on. But at this point, the record is bigger than Drake. It's beyond that. It could be, like you could play it as your band school song to diss the other team. Like we're no longer talking just about Drake anymore. Like it's a generational record.
Yeah. Oh, another bring Janet out, do poetic justice, hashtag culture.
Come on. If he brought Janet Jackson out, I mean, like, what could he do that would be more legendary? And that he's for the culture, and he remembered y'all did Janet wrong. So when he got in the room, he pulled Janet back in. Like, what could he do that would be more legendary than that? Like, beside like bringing Pac back from the dead. Like, oh my God.
Someone said that spoiler. No, the leaked disc track list, Not Like Us, Swimming Pools, All Right, King Kunta, Humble, DNA, Luther, Gloria, and Squabble Up, TV Off. That's a lot of songs.
Wait a minute. Is that the order? So we start with Not Like Us? That's
I think
interesting.
That Not Like Us, Swimming Pools. They posted it twice too, so that was the leaked.
If that's real, that's very interesting. Just performatively, that you would start with Not Like Us.
I was saying that in the last Rap Latte episode, but y'all was trying to tell me I was crazy.
I mean, you make
get it out of there
that actually happen in the real world, and we don't. But I'm just saying, all the set lists I've ever seen. I mean, you wonder if he's going to have some extra production value. Or like this is the record that your non-fans have heard the record, but they may not be able to pick you out of a lineup. So this immediately establishes you to everybody. And I don't know. It's interesting to start with that and not build up to it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why you would start with it and not build up to it.
Well, you hit him with a bang. Like for me, if it was me and I had Not Like Us, like if I had a song like that big, I'm starting with that thing. You're going to at the Super Bowls, like everybody, I know myself. I'm like, all they know is this song. Give it to them right away. Now I have to sell them on everything instead of them waiting to get the energy. To me, I want to get your energy right away. But you know that about me in general. But that's my vibe.
So you deploy, or let's say you're managing Kendrick. Your advice is to deploy Not Like Us right away because of the cultural value or because of the, let's call it the cardio value, because it's like a high energy song.
I don't know if either of those reasons why, but I say it's a high energy. I think it's recognizable and it's grabbing people's attention right away. That's why I want to get your attention first. You just were watching the game. You don't care, blah, blah, blah. You're waiting for the song. Instead of making you wait, I'm hitting with you. Now I have your attention. Now I can say whatever I want. After I get your attention, I can say whatever I want. That's the whole thing. It's like, I have your ears. So
Not
I
Like
build a
Us is
story from there.
Not Like Us is the most attention grabbing thing I
Yes.
can do when I hit the stage.
That is the most attention thing you can do when you hit the stage. And then now you just think about it too. As a performer, I'm like, if I start with a bang, I have to figure out how to keep it going. So that makes me feel better as a performer. I want to keep it going. And you see, like, even like with story building is like, I'm going to figure out how to get you with the energy and keep it going till it culminates to the biggest thing possible. So now, to me, that's fun.
What did that list say was the final song?
I think it was TV Off, which is a beautiful final song. That's a great song.
TDR.
TV Off.
TV Off. Oh, TV Off. Turn the TV,
Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
So then you're ending with Mustard. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Right. So
I love that.
So well, there you go. There's a forward movement, right? And we're not continuing to celebrate Not Like Us. That's our past. TV Off is the record we want you to remember us for now going forward. So so this is our new big pop hit, and it doesn't need to get as big as Not Like Us, but like
that's just what I would do. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, and I don't know if this set list could be some guy who just decided to go, man, this is the set list, So
it could, and we should do better. We should know better than to talk about something that isn't verified. So our
girl, Mari. Hey, Mari, you got to tell us how to pronounce your name. Is it Mary or Mari? Do a little pronunciation thing for us. But Mari asked you, Toure, why did you not like the interview? I don't even know how she knows that. Did I say that? Did I put that out there?
Are we talking about the Kanye Justin interview or the Kendrick Apple Music interview?
The Kendrick interview, I think, is what she's asking.
I think that the conversation did not nearly go deep enough into Kendrick. I really wanted to hear him talk about the past, the battle. It appears, from my educated guess, having been in that seat before in other similar situations, it looks like they were like, we don't want to talk about Drake. We don't want to talk about the battle.
Yeah, so it looks like,
I would have liked to at least get a process question, like, did you record like 10 songs in one day? Like, can you talk about the day of making it? So we're not talking about Drake. We're just talking about the process. But, I feel like there were deeper avenues that you could go on with Kendrick, even if you're not talking about the battle, that they didn't really go down. And he's so deep and so thoughtful. I thought we could have had a more thoughtful conversation than we had, and a deeper conversation. And I've talked to him. He's very deep. He's not easy to interview, but he is very deep. And, I would have liked a deeper conversation.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that, but like I just told you, and I knew that it wouldn't be that. It's got to be corporate. This is Apple Music. This is like, as much as people and I've seen this as another thing that people hated on, tried to hate on Kendrick now. Like, there's these narratives, these Drake fan narratives. But as much as Kendrick is this true artist with his work, Kendrick does what the system, he just follows the system, like the system, how it goes. We do the interview here. I'm gonna do the interview that makes sense for the Super Bowl, because that's what it makes sense. I'm not trying to talk to you about my art and how I really feel about like the government and the world. I don't want to do that, because I have deep, real anti-establishment thoughts that we can't really have this discourse here. That's how the music says. The music's telling me this. So why would I go out on a platform and have these conversations with you? It's to my own detriment. So I'm going to have corporate conversations with you, corporate people, because this is how we have to live in this society, is we use money, share money, exchange in this economy. So he's doing what he's supposed to do. And people use that as a thing to try to throw darts at him and say, like, Kendrick's supposed to be this anti-establishment thing, and he's more establishment than Drake. And I'm like, you guys don't even know what anti-establishment, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like
he's playing the game, and you would like to see somebody not compromise, not play the game, especially, we historically know rappers to buck the game. Think about interviews from Chuck D with Ted Koppel, right? Like freaking him out on Nightline, the shit that happened. Like we could be counterculture. I think about Tupac being on television in ways that were like, holy shit, I can't believe he said that.
But it's actual mild now, though. The stuff that those guys have said, because they paved the way, those stuff's the things that they said is mild to say right now, but also has a counter response in the mainstream. Like your counter rebellion has another counter rebellion to go against it. Like your Black Power has a counter statement nowadays, and it gets lessened and diluted more and more and more. But we have some super chats, and we could get back to that statement where the Doomer says, prediction: K. Dot brings out the daughter.
Wow. In another timeline where hip hop is even more popular than it is on this timeline, he brings out the daughter because he's continuing the battle with Drake.
Yeah.
Like, my plan all along was to prove that here comes me and Drake's daughter.
That's crazy. Drake paid money to get info on K. Dot, which puts Dot's family in danger of criminals. Drake did the same thing to Pusha T. It's up for life if I'm K. Dot. Supposedly, he didn't just pay to get info too, so I agree with your statement, sir. Saying
Wait, Erica M had a super chat. I don't know if you read it. The dancers filming Squabble Up were dancing to a fake beat with the same BPM. We really think they're openly rehearsing to the real set list? Nah. Well, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know or care. I'm glad I didn't get, like, you guys are so hungry that you guys found some inside information. I'm glad I didn't get, none of this got ruined for me, because I'm like, I'm going to watch the game. Halftime's going to come. Like the game, I'm going to watch the game and forget that there's a halftime and be excited because I'm like, you know what? Kendrick about to perform. It's about the Super Bowl show, not even a general interview. He said it's about it's about the Super Bowl show, not even a general interview. Yeah. And that's what it was. And I was like, that's why it's going to be this corporate thing. That interview is going to be this corporate thing.
So I think part of the thing here is that Kendrick is saying, he is like the monk of hip hop, right? Like he is very quiet compared to the way a lot of MCs are presenting themselves, like being very loud, doing lots of interviews, like brash, and like every interview we got to say at least one thing that goes viral that's crazy. And he's like, I am to myself. You will hear the music, and then I'm gone for 5 years. I'll drop an album and come back. And so he's going to do this interview. He's not going to call attention to his political views. He's not going to do that because we've decided we're focusing on the music. This is the inverse strategy from what Kanye is doing, who is saying, I am going to flood the zone with my political ideas, many of them anti-Semitic, racist, wild, egomaniacal, triggering, all sorts of things, as I want you to know all about what I think, and hopefully I will capture some of you for my music and my clothes. I'll
capture the people who I can. That's where he's at with his. He's like, I'll capture people I can.
They're sort of opposite strategies, and we can get more into Kanye's notion of things in a little while, but like, Kendrick, it feels like it goes to his notion of integrity, right? Like I said, the sense of integrity goes through his music and through his presentation. And it's like, I'm here to talk about my music. I am a incredible MC. I have ideas, but I'm not necessarily going to push my anti-establishment or anti-capitalist or whatever ideas on you, because I'm not an expert, even though I probably read 4 books about it last week. But like, you know what I mean? Like I think he's thoughtful about like, I'm just here to talk about music.
Well, he's an artist. He's a professional artist. Like, do you go to your job wherever you work and start talking about your political views and yelling it out there. I think he puts it in the artwork, but when he's in these circles and in this space, when you see him in this space talking about it, it might not be so outward, because I think he does not want to be that savior that everyone thinks that they put that on him. Even though he does have, in his music and in the rhetoric, there is a savior complex. So I understand why people would put that on him, but he's also said that he doesn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we got some super chats coming in crazy. He should do a mock second line funeral for Drake. Shout out to New Orleans, the greatest city in the U.S. New Orleans. He's gonna do a mock second line funeral.
Amazing.
I
love that idea.
Amazing. All things considered, I've never seen a more anticipated halftime show. It very well may dwarf the excitement about the actual game. It already has, bruh.
Coyote Monsoon, thank you for that. I do want to stand up for the actual football of it all. This could be a great game. These are two fantastic teams. The football loving me is very excited about this game. It's probably not going to be a blowout. The hip hop loving me is very excited about Kendrick. It's both things. It doesn't have to be. Can it be both and?
You gotta be political. No, but this is the biggest. This is the most hype for a halftime show in since Michael Jackson.
Let me say this. I don't know who. I don't know how to judge hype. I want to put out a bar, okay? Because I think.
You got bars?
No. I don't mean. I meant a standard. A bar as far as a standard.
Oh,
right?
okay.
As far as what I'm hoping for from Kendrick, and he's an incredible performer and stage designer. So the bar should be high for him. I think that in the Jay-Z era, the Rihanna Super Bowl performance is probably the best, right along with the LA Dr. Dre in a mansion. Performance? Dr. Dre and all of them in a mansion on stage.
Yeah.
And Eminem and the whole
Great
Dr. Dre
team, historic.
Family. Like those two Super Bowl moments in the Jay-Z era of doing this are the high points to me of Super Bowl performances. And Rihanna with the red and the white and the dancers floating.
I didn't care for the Rihanna performance.
Massive,
I didn't care for it.
It was a massive symbol of pregnancy, of the sperm, the white sperm chasing after red Rihanna and trying to get into it while she's pregnant. It's fucking brilliant.
I love Rihanna. I love that you're saying her name, how she's supposed to.
And I'm like, I want to see a level of performance and design of performance. And Kendrick can do it, right? Was he not part of the LA Dr. Dre shit, right? Wasn't he part of that?
Yes, he was.
And his part was awesome. So he has big visual ideas for performance. So we should hold him to a very high standard.
I don't like the chat agrees Rihanna was not up there at all, and I get what you're saying with the maybe.
Rihanna
but I love
shit. Who do people think was a great modern?
Yeah, let's find
Super Bowl
out.
And I'm talking about just
the Jay-Z era,
right? When Jay-Z's been the creative.
So
director,
let me put it in there. It's Jay-Z. Kendrick could win an Emmy for the Super Bowl. That's funny. He's gonna be an EGOT.
Did you see Felicia Williams's super chat? The less words you say, the less chance to say something to get canceled. This is Kendrick. Yeah. It allows us to fill in the blanks with his art. Let's keep the mystique. And you're absolutely right. There used to be artists who had a sense of mystique about them. You didn't know everything about them. You wondered things about them. And then as the internet and other things developed, it became an era of they are communicating everything all the time. They never go away. You never are meant to miss them. But it used to be that they would drop an album and then you go away for a while and you would miss them and then they would come back. And Kenny is kind of on that schedule of he goes away and you miss him and you're like, where is he? He's not trying to be on a feature and a mixtape and a TV show and all the time. So you never... Drake is more of the perpetual modern artist who wants to always be in your face with some sort of product.
Yeah, And that's the thing about this day and age, and music commerce is like you create your schedule with your fans and your fan base. You create it, and that's what Drake did. Kendrick created this schedule because people were saying like Kendrick was gone, but his fan base was like, you could wait 7 years as long as we get the product. We'll be here waiting for the new product. So that's what he was.
Matt Hemming has an interesting super chat. Torre,
Yeah.
Kendrick can't remain the master strategist and explain his strategy to everyone. Years from now, will we maybe get K-Dot's Book of Five Rings? I mean, that's interesting. You know, I think the historical record of hip hop deserves to know more about what happened in the battle, what happened that we didn't see, how did certain things develop, why is Kendrick seeming to respond directly to Drake songs that were released at just hours earlier. Like, you know, did he really do 10 songs in one session? Like, we should know, and maybe this is part of what it is about history, that it takes a long time to get all the rest of the things that happen in the back room to know what happened. But like, this is a major moment in hip hop history and in modern American pop cultural history. And like, and it's not even purient. It's not anti-Drake. It's just wanting to see the whole story of what happened and a big musical and entertainment and cultural moment.
I agree with that sentiment, but the feeling of you desiring that because you want to have these answers, but I know that we don't need them and we shouldn't have them right now. And this guy's talking about how you pronounce Rihanna. You pronounce it Rihanna the way that she said that you should pronounce it. He's like,
I interviewed Rihanna, and she said, when she referred to herself, she said Rihanna. And I actually asked her, is that how you pronounce it? And she's like, yes, that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. But she does not correct people who say Rihanna, but she says Rihanna.
That's funny. You're kind of out of focus.
And it does stand out to people because most people in America say Rihanna. And
yeah,
it
we all
sounds
say
funny,
Rihanna.
but I can't know she said it's Rihanna and not say that. Like,
that facts. I mean, you talk to her, so you're gonna look like an asshole if you go around saying her name differently. But we got super chats. What if he drive out in his GNX with the backseat freestyle and they didn't public congratulate him? They're not coming out, period. What? I don't really understand that, Auntie. You read that, Tori, because I don't make sense of that.
Let me see. Some of these are hard for a nigga to read. Let's see.
Rihanna did as well as she could pregnant. People forget, by the way.
I'm going to jump ahead for a second. I'm going to come back. I see Erica M. Rihanna did as well as she could pregnant. I think she did fantastic. People forget, by the way, she had, I'm going to get this closer to my glasses, time to get pregnant and be 9 months by the show date. Kendrick picked this fight with Drake because of the Super Bowl. It's decided March, April. Kendrick picked this fight because of the Super Bowl. This is all part of the master plan. Oh, here's Auntie.
I don't think so.
What if he drive out in his GNX with backseat freestyle, and if they didn't publicly congratulate him, they not coming out, period. Okay, I see you.
I still kind of like.
You can make it a little clearer, but I think
you got it. I mean, yeah, I get it now. She retyped it too.
I would fully expect to see Kendrick in a GNX in some way.
Oh yeah, I expect that too. I mean, I was about to call him Shia LaBeouf, Timothy Chalamet interview with him and Timothy Chalamet. I thought it was in the little Shia LaBeouf. It's like, no, respect to Timothy Chalamet. That is, I am disrespectful. I fuck with Timothy Chalamet, but
little Twinkies.
But Timothy Chalamet interview with Kendrick, he has the GNX. So I'm thinking like that's just the whole brand is going in. Yeah, the brand's going in.
So wait, let's talk about Kanye for a minute, because like, what the fuck? I mean, like, I don't want to call it crashing out. I don't want to hear about mental health. I don't want to hear about bipolar, because It's not manic. He wants attention. There's no medical issue. This is multiple days of him trying to get attention away from Kendrick, focused on himself, with like this insistence on I can say the wildest shit and
say
nothing
whatever.
will happen. And it's very now, and like Musk and Doge and all these sort of things of like, the vibe is like, say anything. Racist things are now in vogue, and you can get away with saying anything. Nobody's getting canceled for anything at all. You could say racist things and be rehired to work in the government. And Kanye is kind of proving it about like, I can say all these anti-Semitic things and nothing really bad has happened to me. And a couple people
He's
have
not
unfollowed
only
him,
saying,
like,
he's not. Elon Musk unfollowed him. Do you not realize?
Elon Musk loves him. The fuck.
Why would you unfollow him on there? But anyways, which is an interesting thing. But everything about this Ye thing, that is, it's him using the power of attention because he understands that attention equals clicks, right? Attention equals clicks. He even said that while he was on his rant, that he was like, we had a real big sales day yesterday, and I said all this thing, anti-Semitic stuff and all that type of stuff, and I still had a big sales.
Do you know that to be true? Because I know you look at numbers and charts and shit. Do you know that to be true?
This is there's two things I want to bring up in here, is that how it's harmful rhetoric went to more than just anti-Semitism. It's also racist, like to black people. It's anti-black sentiments all over his shit. That people that even though you might, as a black person individually, you don't internalize it because you are not understand you're not a monolith. So you see him say, I hate rappers, or white people are not the problem. Slavery is a choice. You black niggas are broke. Why would I listen to you? Things like that. You see those things. So you're not internalizing it as all black people. But the 100,000 comments under him are internalizing that as all black people. So that's harmful rhetoric that he's putting out and tweeting out there for people to have this perspective against communities, the black community, the Jewish community. He said something about trans people too. All these things, right? These hateful things. So harmful things, I'd rather say, than hateful. So what I want to say about that is, when it comes to attention, I talked to somebody too who's in the fashion industry that used to work closely with the former like Yeezy team. But when it comes to these algorithms, what people don't understand, people say ignore Kanye. If you say just ignore Kanye, you don't understand how any of these algorithms work. You can't ignore anything on those apps. You guys are thinking about what's on these apps all day. It's psychologically connected to your life, that it's habitually there. They figured this out. You are getting, even if you don't get notifications, it's on your mind. When he's doing all these things for attention's actually equal clicks. Like, it's a scientific thing that they know. Facebook, I pay Facebook $500. I'm going to get a certain amount of clicks. It's not guaranteed, but I'm going to get clicks. And when I keep it running, it's going to figure out who clicks on my product and make it the best, lowest possible price for that click. Now, if I have an infinite amount of money, right, that click, I realize, is only worth $1.57. I've been running this ad for 3 months. All I have to do is throw money at that. I will get that click amount. And if I change the advertisement a little bit, I change this or that, I can get that click, that price lower. It might go a little higher, but it's going to get that. That's how algorithms work. You can't stop attention on these applications.
But what I thought you were going to say, which I think you would agree also, that angering people, shit posting is an easier way to get people to click in faster.
No, let me get into that. It's not that it's easy. It's not that it's easy. It is easier. It's not that it's easier. They're built for that because psychologically, if we all agree, just like with us, and when we argue like twice a show or something like that, if you all agree, the conversation doesn't get prolonged. You don't stay on the app agreeing with people. You stay on the app more if you are disagreeing with people. So they show you things that are going to for that emotion. That emotion is being promoted on these apps. And you can notice the difference when you go on a red note or how TikTok started. If they don't promote things in such way, they psychologically are trying to control you to make this is a fact too. Check, MIT did a study on this in 2018, and Facebook has their own inside research in, I think it was 2022, because I read shit because I'm not an idiot like Kanye who doesn't believe in reading. I actually read shit because I like knowing shit. Okay, so so check out the study. It's about how negative comments and negative reactions keeps people on these applications, and that's how they push these things. And he's a coon in every single way.
No, I love that, and that's a scientific explanation for some of what's going on. And I think sociologically that ties in with trolling culture, and that we are now in an era, and we've been in an era for several years where a large number of people think the best and most fun way of interacting with other people is to troll them and to say things that should offend and anger the other person. And then when the other person is angered and offended by it, then it's like, aha, you're mad. So it's like, I'm just trying to make you mad. And you lose because you're mad. Exactly. Because I triggered a normal human reaction, basically expecting you to be a human being and humane, and you refused, and you were like, I'm going to say some crazy shit. And, I swear to God, and people get a lot of attention doing that. And when I hear him say these things about, the mustache man, I'm like, he doesn't really mean it. He's saying it to troll us, but he says that so many times publicly and privately that intellectually I'm like, he must mean it on some level, because he keeps saying it over and over. It's not some funny thing that he said just to trot out to be contrarian and make people freak out. Like, you keep saying this over and over and over. You must mean it. And at what point do we say, you have to mean this shit, and we cannot interact with you. We cannot fuck with you. We cannot deal with you at all. I mean, if you had a friend who was going around saying anti-Semitic shit, you would probably stop fucking with them, right?
Easily. I mean, anything that this guy was saying. I'm looking at the chat. People talking about how he's kind of basically like Trump, and of course we've talked about Trump a million times. So anybody who doesn't know Rap Latte, that's your own issue. But he is people keep calling him the crazy uncle, but it's more like, this is more like what it is. Or say if it's a crazy uncle because you know him, but it's the mentally not well uncle that comes into the movie theater. He's like coming to a movie theater filled with children and starts saying the wildest stuff, right? Then next week, do it again. Nobody's kicking him out. Nobody's trapping him. No one's telling you can't come here. He keeps coming to this theater, and our children are seeing him say the wildest things in the world, and we say, oh, Don't, baby, he's just crazy. That's just your crazy uncle. But those children heard these messages for weeks on weeks of this crazy uncle. You don't think it's going to affect them? You don't think the crazy things that he says about them, calls them ugly, says that this person's fat and people who look like that person you shouldn't trust. You know what I'm saying? If he says all this stuff to these kids, because I'm saying kids because it's impressionable. The audience is so impressionable, the people who are buying his merchandise and the people he's talking about. And all he cares about, because he's, high off nitrous and has probably bipolar disorder, all he cares about is the fact that he's a billionaire, which has nothing to do with anything. Like, what's that have to do with anything?
I don't even know that.
That's not even true. Yeah, we don't know if it's true. But who cares if it's true?
Is it independently verified? I have no idea.
But who cares if it's true? What does that matter? Being rich, that's what makes you rich. Like, you have a family. Where's your family at? Like, where's the people that love you? You just said that you pay people to like you and laugh at you. That sounds so depressing. I feel really bad for you, but I don't want you saying these crazy things to impressionable people. And I know it's doing that because I could see the comments under there, people agreeing with him. That's
He
like
said
kids.
he said he has dominion over his wife,
Yeah.
like control over her, and he seemed to make it like this was the way it was internally because he's so wealthy. She has to go along with whatever he wants, and that's certainly the way that it appears in every public appearance, that she's just going along with whatever he wants. And that was one of the more disgusting and frightening things that he said in all of this. And like all the anti-Semitism was horrific, and I am highly offended by that.
Yeah,
also.
he's making real Nazis very happy is what somebody just said, and that's the problem. And I had a whole discourse with some, because I made a little funny video talking about how I translate Kanye's tweets, and somebody was like, "Yo, but what about Palestine and things like that?" Where now people are conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitic views. Like they're conflating these concepts and don't know the difference because of someone like
No,
Kanye.
it's insane that the neo-Nazis the neo-Yazis in America adopted "Kanye was right" as a slogan, and he did not think, "Oh my God, I need to like push out somehow publicly the message, like I do not share anything with them. I don't appreciate them. Do not use my name." You didn't. You never said, "I don't want those people using my name. I don't want to be associated." You never said, "I don't want to be associated with those people." That's
Nah,
insane.
it's
That's crazy.
it's hella crazy, and it's more than problematic, and that's why I'm like, and if you don't understand the internet, and the reason why I brought back that internet shit, so I'm like, you can't combat this with ignoring him. You cannot combat. All you can do is say Kendrick is great. Everybody listen to Kendrick, and Ye's t-shirts are trash. All you can do is combat it with something else in the algorithm. You have to attack it. It cannot be ignored. It's calm like a bomb. Inaction is a weapon of mass destruction. Like you cannot ignore. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful song. I forgot who
I
made
mean,
that song.
just one person or two people or whatever ignoring him is not enough. It needs to be more than that. And I'm not saying that there is necessarily a strategy, but like I see those sneakers out a lot. I know that there's still a general mood of listening to him, and
Yeah.
you wonder how much is possible for you. Each individual has to decide for themselves how much is possible, how many times. And the answer should be what, but how many times can a person say pro Germany things and crazy anti-black things and all sorts of crazy shit that's offensive and fucked up, and you continue to support them and you continue to go, "Well, I see the artist different than the artist." Like he wants his brand to be anti-Semitism. Like, are you rocking with that? Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all should not rock with him, and I think we should actually even move on from this topic and go towards the energy we should go to, which can attack that, which is Kendrick. What do we think? What do we think the surprise is, if it's a surprise album, and where does he go from here? Because everybody's talking about how Kendrick is not Drake, is not going to provide music for us. He's not going to give us the bops. He's not going to run for 10 years, which I don't even think that's needed. I think it's good that there's not one guy running it. I don't like dynasties running that long. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think it's good that it's not there. What do you think the move is from here? And do you think, and what does this album sound like if he drops a deluxe? I'm asking, what do you think?
You're the one who's going to predict the way that things will sound. I can't do that.
Yeah.
You can try to predict, but I think Kendrick is moving toward an album and a tour, and it would be amazing timing and like perfect synchronicity if at the end of this performance he could announce new album available tonight. right? Like that is how you would
Like
do
a
it,
Super
right?
Bowl commercial for your album is insane. So it makes so
Yeah,
much sense.
yeah. I mean, and like Beyonce showed us, like this is how we do it, right? Like so,
Yeah.
Kendrick is like, rocks this. I mean, like this is a moment of
Wait a minute.
maximum
Beyonce showed us this is how
visibility.
to do it. Was that Lemonade you're talking about?
Was it Lemonade? Wait, no, it was going into Cowboy Carter when she had the commercial where she was with Verizon. Like, can I go to the moon? Can I do this? Can I do this? And then she said, "All right, drop the new music." And then it was Cowboy Carter. It was Texas. That's when Chat will correct me if I'm wrong. But that's when Texas Hold'em and I believe 16 Carriages dropped right out of was it a Super Bowl commercial with Verizon
I'm
last year?
unsure. I'm unsure.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I'm
Chat
unsure.
will back me up or tell me I'm wrong.
Chat will back me up. She announced at Usher Super Bowl. That's what Mari said.
But she that would be the move, right? Like we'll find your tour dates, right? Your fans will find your tour dates when you have a moment of maximum global visibility. Is when you say, I got a new album for you. Here it is, and like shift everybody over to like get that album. That like if your ducks are in a row and you're a precise individual as Kendrick is, that's the way you do it.
Facts. We got some super chats we didn't read. Let's go back for a little bit. You got some Ye ones where it says, not sure why people still mess with Kanye West. Haven't listened to him since Slavery is a Choice. Didn't like his music after College Dropout either. That's a stretch, but okay. I feel you on that.
D2B2 is coming in. We appreciate the support. You're always in the chats, always in the super chats. Appreciate it.
Yeah. See, here's how the most people messed up. Y'all excuse Kanye's behavior because he's mentally ill. He might be mentally ill. I don't discount that, but really, he's mainly just an ass.
I'm tired of us. I'm tired of us excusing
It's
or
getting
even
dark over there.
explaining. I know. At the end of the day, I don't get us excusing or explaining Kanye through mental health. It's disrespectful to people who are not mentally ill. It's not about that. This is not about mental health.
It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful.
It's about trolling. It's about attention-seeking behavior. It's bullshit.
Completely. I think we're gonna the game's about to start. I think we're about to cut off this live for two reasons.
Hold on. There's a couple. Let's make sure I get in all the super chats. Andrew Nienke, I hope I get that name right. As a melanin challenged person, I am relieved that Black folks finally have a crazy racist uncle too. Hey, we've been had that. We had that. Little Clarence Thomas here and there.
Maybe we throw Ye back with Donda Mama jokes, with Donda and Mama jokes.
D2B2, he actively associates with those people. Screw Ye West. I mean, I feel you.
It's easy. It's easily that. And I don't like the people who try to convert what he says as some type of pro-Black rhetoric. They take it and be like, no, what he's actually saying, since he's talking about them, he's really trying to lift us up. It's like, no, he's not trying to lift us up. He's just trying to get dollars for himself. And he also doesn't know what he's trying to do because
there's one more from
right.
D2B2. See, here's how most people messed up. Y'all excused Ye's behavior because he's mentally ill. He might be mentally ill. I don't discount that. But really, he's mainly just an asshole. And like, yeah, yes, exactly.
Yes, it's just that simple.
Exactly. The game starts at 6:30, but we're gonna let y'all go.
We're gonna let y'all go. It's getting dark.
We're gonna come back after the game and talk about Kendrick.
And we're gonna get Toure a light. We get him a nice little spotlight so you can see him. You know what I'm trying to say?
We'll have a light. We'll have a performance behind us. We'll know what the surprise was.
But y'all gonna come back right after the halftime show. We're going to be here right after halftime show.
No, after the game.
We're going after the game. No,
after
we should go we should go after halftime show just for a little bit. Or no. Okay, fine. We're gonna do after the game. We're gonna do after the game because this nigga wants to watch the Chiefs win. He wants to watch the Chiefs win because it's all planned. He wants
It's
to
all
watch
now.
it.
Now you're back
It's
to
all
the
played.
conspiracy
Conspiracy
thing.
latte. Bye, y'all.
God damn it.
After the game, come
All right,
holler at
peace.
us after the game. We'll see you. It's gonna be like 1 a.m.